Salute and welcome to the channel. So it finally happened. I finally decided to give up on Raven. Not entirely. I want to try to give a little bit of context for this video. So just let me cook. Let me just get through this beginning part. I will have chapters in this video. I want to just give a few thoughts on what I feel season 3 is going to look like. And also just give a few reasons as to why I will no longer be prioritizing Raven for season 3. I'll probably ride out with him for the rest of season 2, but for season 3, more than likely not. Just to kind of just get this out of the way, I don't really, and I've said this many times on the channel, but in the event if you are new, hopefully by the end of the video, I will have earned your subscription. But what I will say is this, based on what I have seen the Namco developers done so far when it comes to the patching of Tekken 8 so far, and I'm talking about from even back in season 1, I don't expect much significant changes. Now, could season 3 be the best season yet? It could. Anything is possible. But if you're asking me straight up and down, do I really see it improving? No, I don't. It's possible it can, but I'm at the point now where I just don't see it. And I will say that as far as I'm concerned, Raven is the worst character in this game. And I will also say at the same time that Raven is the most balanced character in this game. And throughout the course of this video, I'm going to show you a few, not many, because I don't want the video to blow up too much, but I'm going to show a few examples using other characters to illustrate my point on just showcasing the things, or should I say the aspects, that Raven does not have access to as a character. And I understand that there are people, very high-level Raven players out there like Pena and other players out there. There's no disrespect to them. Even other players like Immortal Soul, who's a phenomenal content creator, Fancy Cinegang, Shinobi Kun or Khan, I don't know how to pronounce his name, and a couple other Raven players. But what I'm going to show is just some of the things that other characters have that I think is sometimes overlooked. It's almost like that old saying, when you're in the forest, you can't see past the trees. So without further ado, as they say, let's get after it. So the first segment that I want to show actually involves Kazuya. And just to kind of do this as quickly as possible, Kazuya's crouch dash 1+2, this move here, on block, this move gives you +5 advantage. This is, in my opinion, a very strong move with Kazuya because he can basically pressure with this. There's a lot of options that Kazuya has after this particular move. It comes out at 24 frames and it is currently +5, and it does 9 chip damage on top of it. Now, if we were to go on over to Raven, Raven has the exact move, which is crouch dash 1+2. As you can see, this move also comes out at 24 frames. It does no chip damage, but more importantly, it is +2 on block. Now, at the beginning of season 2, the Namco developers buffed this particular move of Raven so that it would be +5, which would basically put it in line with Kazuya's crouch dash 1+2. It was essentially the same move. It's just that now Raven had a version of this. What this allowed Raven players to do was to having that +5 advantage from a crouched position while you're recovering allowed Raven players to do a counter hit while standing 2 setup. Now, Raven can still do this by utilizing his down back 3, as I'm about to show you right now. Down back 3, while sending 2, counter hit launcher. See this? So I'm trying to mash, can't mash. So that right there is huge for Raven, because Raven doesn't have the best launcher options in this game, but having something like that really enhances his game. Now, of course, this move comes out at, you know, it's very slow. It's 28 frames. So being able to utilize crouch dash 1+2 on block and having that same type of setup was very key for Raven. Also, at that same time, Raven's while standing both kicks, his tracking mid kick was also safe as well. This move right here, this move was absolutely safe at the start of season 2. Season 1, this particular move was -12. It was -12 from the very beginning. But at the beginning of season 2, they changed it to be safe at -9. So at the very beginning, Raven was looking pretty decent. For whatever reason, at some point in time within season 2, they reverted his this move back to -12, and they removed Raven's +5 advantage from this move here, to where now it's only +2, basically leaving the only real options you have are this. You can grab using his one break, you can do that, or you can just basically do this while standing 4. Those are now your only options after your opponent blocks that particular crouch dash move, and it's really sad. It's really sad, and it is what it is. So I'm gonna move on to the next character now. So moving right along, this example involves this absolutely stupid and busted character, Asuka. This character is absolutely cancerous. So basically this involves Raven's Sabaki. For those that don't know, that is essentially an attack that can deflect and attack your opponent at the same time. Basically Namco pretty much stole this from Virtua Fighter. For instance, so with Asuka, she has, I believe it is, oh yeah, it's forward 2+3. Right, this move here. I'm pretty sure if you fought this stupid character, I can guarantee you've probably gotten hit by this at least once or twice. If you look at this move, for reasons unknown, this move is 0 on block, which means, just to kind of put Raven to punish, which means, basically you can do this move and just do it right after. So you can basically just do this move, put on your opponent's block because it's 0 on block, and just do it again if your opponent happens to flinch or whatever. And this gives Asuka a full high damaging combo. It's absolutely ridiculous. Let me show Raven's equivalent. Let me see if I can kind of time it. Look at that. So now, Raven's does 32 damage if it manages to connect on your opponent. However, if you are just doing a singular strike, as Raven is doing his back 2, you can block this move. Now, the problem here, in case you haven't noticed, Asuka is not being hit because I have enough time to block this bullshit. And the other issue is, not only am I blocking it, Raven recovers back turn. And not only is he recovering back turn, he's -8. Which means that Raven cannot even turn back around to his default state to defend. Raven then has to be forced to either warp away, or he has to attempt an attack reversal. And both of those cases, a high-level opponent can bait this out and punish you severely for this. So a move that should have basically operate like how this move does, unfortunately, look at this. Unfortunately, it doesn't operate like that. So again, it just goes further to illustrate that Raven is trash in this game. What I would like to have seen of this is if you're going to have Raven not what's the word I'm looking for? Convert his Sabaki or deflection, whatever you want to call this, off of an opponent's singular jab, but he's still going to follow through with this teleport nonsense, then at least make it so that Raven ideally is plus, to where if he doesn't get this attack, at least he's plus frames to utilize something from his back turn stance. Or at least make him -3 or something to where he can turn back around without having to risk doing one of his attack reversals that can easily be baited out by a higher level player. So that's all I gotta say about this bullshit example. Anyway, I'm gonna move on with the next character. So in this example, I want to highlight this particular move. I've even seen a few people in the community actually complain about this move, justifiably so, and that is Leo's down forward 2+3. This move is basically it does 20 damage, it comes out at 21 frames, and it is +5 on hit. Most notably, it is only, just to kind of illustrate this, it is only -12 on block. Now, if that was enough, okay, but on counter hit, if you actually manage to land this move on counter hit, you get a full combo if you are a Leo player. Full combo. Let's show it again. I don't know what the combo is, but I mean, you get a full damaging combo. Not a tornado, a full combo if this move lands on counter hit. Like, this is absolutely insane. And also, this move is also a high crush, so let me also demonstrate that as well. Let me just kind of set him to punish, as you can see. So high crush, look at that. So I got high crushed, bam, bop, 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 and then there's a full combo. Now let's go on over to Raven's side. Raven has basically fundamentally the same move. So this move here, down, back turn, down 2. As you look at on the right side of the screen, Raven, his move comes out at 20 frames. It's +4 on hit and does 20 damage. Unfortunately, when Raven lands this move on counter hit, you get nothing. You get no additional combo follow-up. All you get is an additional poke. That's all you get. And I just think that's absolutely ridiculous. What I would like to see from this, if it's counter hit, and then basically at this point, Raven will come down and you hold the opposite direction so you can drop down, land back turned, and then you would get a tornado by doing this right here, and then you would follow up. I could see that. I would like to see that, but unfortunately, Raven doesn't get nothing except another move of the same type, or you can do that. It's just ridiculous. I think I could rest my case on that regard, and believe me, I'm well aware that there are other significant differences, but I think the comparison between Leo's down forward 2-3 versus Raven's back turn down 2 on counter hit alone, it's just night and day. And given the fact that both moves are high crushes, both moves are linear, both moves essentially do 20 damage, and basically Leo's comes out at what, 1 frame slower, and Raven's is only 1 frame less on advantage. But yet and still Leo's, you get a full combo, a full fucking combo, but with Raven, you just earned yourself another poke. I rest my case on that front. I'm moving on to the next character. So in this example, I want to give a comparison of Ling Xiaoyu's while standing 3 versus Raven's back 3, both on hit, on block, and on counter hit. So first, when Ling Xiaoyu does while standing 3, you can see that this is essentially an overhead kick. It has a bit of a wind up. It comes out at 22 frames, and it is +3 on block. Okay. Now on regular hit, it does 22 damage, and you are +6. Now on counter hit, Ling Xiaoyu gets a full combo. Full combo. Look at this. Full combo. I don't know what her combos are, but I believe it's something like this or something like that. Whatever, right? But the fact that, you know, she can get a full combo off of this, the move is plus frames, and the opponent is literally at range 0 from her. The big issue with Raven is this. Look at how far back it pushes Ling Xiaoyu away. Look at this. Now this move does 4 chip. It comes out slower. It's +4 on block. On hit, it just knocks me to the ground face first. On counter hit, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything on counter hit. It doesn't give me a pop-up. It doesn't do anything. There's no real difference, aside from the fact that it does 4 points more damage. Absolutely ridiculous. As I just shown you, Ling Xiaoyu's, if you look at the kick, it's basically the same goddamn kick. It's just that Ling's comes out a little bit faster. You would think on the strength that Raven's comes out slower, that you would be rewarded if you land this slow ass 27 frame move on someone on a counter hit. You would think that not only would you get some form of a combo like this, right? You would also get maybe a few more extra frame, maybe +5 instead of +4. You know, the fact that if you block this move, look at the pushback. Why am I getting pushed back like this? Why? Whereas with Ling Xiaoyu, it's just, you're still there. You're still able to apply your pressure. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, I'm done with that. Moving on to the next character. So this is one of my favorite examples to show because this move from Dragunov, down forward 1-4, is essentially the same as down forward 2-3. The weakness obviously is if you know the Raven player is going to do this, you can just simply block the first and then you can just you know, duck the high like so. So you can definitely do that. But what ends up happening if you block the first and then you try to mash in between? Nothing. It's a counter hit. It just knocks you away. That's all it does. It just knocks you away. Now let's show what happens with Dragunov. Now, mind you, this is pretty much the same move. If we're being perfectly honest, if you look at it, it's essentially the same move. This is what happens. I mean, I forgot what the combo is, but you can see. Why is it that Raven just kicks you away, but Dragunov gets a full Half-Life combo? I mean, I just don't understand. Now, they both share the same weakness. if you scout out the move, make the read, you can, I'll just show it right here. You can duck the follow-up like this. You can duck, same thing with Raven. Same thing with Raven, right? If we do this, right? Let me put them back to this. So we do this. What? Pop, pop. And so basically they both share the same weakness, is that you can block the mid, duck the high. But the difference is with Raven, if you get hit with the high, it's just gonna knock you away. And with Dragunov, you get a full combo. Make that make sense. It's just absolutely ridiculous, man. It really is. Let me move on. So with this example, I want to illustrate two particular moves that, well, actually one move that both of these characters share. They do it the exact same way, the exact same input. It actually comes out at the exact same frames, and it results in the exact same outcome on counter hit, and that is standing 3+4. Standing 3+4, so if we go back to round one fight, we backdash, it can still reach, walk back a little bit, it can still reach. So you can see that Fahk has a very generous range for his version, right? And then again, as you can see, it's 18 frames startup, and it's -9 on block. On regular hit, it knocks you away. It actually causes a wall splat. That's kind of like the main difference between the two, just to kind of show that, right? It does 20 damage. Now on counter hit, it causes a gut stun, right? Now on the opposite end, if we now look at Bryan's, same deal. In fact, does the exact same damage. 24 damage on counter hit. I don't know who has more range. Yeah, I think, yeah, Fahk definitely has more range. It's just that, so Fahk version has more range, and it causes a wall splat. Bryan's, no wall splat. It is +8 on regular hit, so it does give good frames. But more importantly, it causes a gut stun. The reason why I show that particular example is to again emphasize that Raven as a character does not have any singular attack that results in any kind of gut stun like what I just shown, or from, say, a counter hit down forward 2 from Kazuya. Raven does not have that. Raven does not have a safe down forward 2. Raven does not have a low crushing, easy access hop kick like characters like King, Lee, Lydia. Like, these are characters that honestly, if I'm being perfectly honest, they don't really need a hop kick in that sense because their offense is pretty strong. But Raven doesn't even have a generic hop kick. It's just absolutely egregious, and yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't know if there was anything else I wanted to show. Oh yeah, there was one other character, and this is a character that people often say, oh, Devil Jin is the worst character in this game. I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna expose this real quick. I'm gonna show you why I say Devil Jin is not the worst character in the game, and why I feel that he is better. Devil Jin has this. He has that. He has an electric. That's number one. Number two, I would say Devil Jin has a hell sweep, but then again, so does Raven with his quicksand. However, the difference is when you are mixing up, right? If you're good with wave dashing and you're doing all of this, right? The difference is that what are you going to mix your hell sweep up, you know, with Devil Jin? Well, the answer to that is you have While Standing 2. Now, While Standing 2 is 14 frames, it causes a tornado launcher. Basically, I don't know what the combo is. A decent little combo. I'm pretty sure Devil Jin mains come up with something better. Most importantly, this move is minus 12. So Devil Jin's while standing 2 is 14 frames startup, and it's minus 12. Now, if we were to go on over to Raven, his while standing 1 is 14 frames startup. However, he is minus 14, not minus 12. Now, if I want to remain safe, I have to do while standing 2 at 13 frame startup. However, the only way Raven is going to get you in the air with this is if it is a counter hit. And as I shown prior, the fact that they took away the +5 advantage of this move, as I demonstrated earlier in the video, it really makes setting this up difficult. Not impossible, but this really, when this was +5 on block, this was very good. This was very strong. But anyway, let's get back on over to Devil Jin. So now this, for those of you that are OGs like myself, you have heard of a player named Cherry Berry Mongo. He's a very skilled Jin player. Back in Tekken 7, I used to see him whore out forward 4 with Jin and standing 4 with Jin. Why? Because standing 4 was a tracking high attack, and I believed at some point in time in Tekken 7 it caused a counter hit combo follow-up, and I think they patched it to where it just kind of did something else, but it was still very strong. And then he would mix that up with the mid forward 4 from Jin, and if that landed on counter hit, it gave him a full combo. Back then in Tekken 7, that Jin combo actually required some skill. Now any random scrub can do the same combo in Tekken 8 because Tekken 8 is a party game, but that's neither here nor there. Now I see in some weird way Devil Jin has something similar. Devil Jin has a tracking standing 4 that comes out at 17 frames startup, and it's tracking attack, and it does 7 chip damage, which is pretty good. However, for mid option, Devil Jin also has back 4, which is also 17 frame. So back 4, 17, standing 4, 17. Standing 4, -5 on block. Back 4, -8 on block. And on counter hit, back 4, you get a full combo. Full combo. Whatever that combo is, that's what Devil Jin can get. Already, that in my view, that already puts him a bit ahead of Raven, easy. But if that wasn't enough, Devil Jin also has a down forward 2, which is completely safe, as you can see at -9. However, I'm holding forward the entire time, as you can see on the upper left-hand corner. So as soon as I do down forward 2, I'm holding forward. I'm basically walking forward, basically. Now, if this move makes contact, this happens. I go into an actual stance where I am at +14 at this point, and I have mix-up options. But this only comes out if the down forward 2 makes contact. And if it doesn't make contact with my opponent blocks, the move doesn't come out, and I'm completely safe. Oh, and if it's counter hit, I'm now +17, so I have a little bit more advantage to play around with. Not to mention, here's another thing. Devil Jin actually has access to a full grab game with his 1 grab, quarter circle back 13. He has 2 12 punch grabs, up forward both punches, the Cyclops grab, which is a both punch grab, and he also has down forward 2-3, which is his right punch grab, and it also breaks the ground, breaks the floor. So Raven only has a 2 grab mix, whereas Delvagin has a 3 grab mix that you have to basically guess the right input. You can't just mash it out. What else does he have? Oh, his heat. I didn't even get into heat, but let's just say, for argument's sake, the only thing that is worthwhile with Raven as it comes to his heat is this. That is the only thing that's worthwhile, because if this move connects, you get a tornado combo. That's literally the extent of Raven's use when it comes to heat. I'm dead ass. Everything else is just smoke and mirrors. It's absolute bullshit. Delvagin, on the other hand, when he has heat, his actual hell sweeps become, well, let's just show. So that's a regular hell sweep. If we're in heat, you have now you have this. Now you have combos. And that's not including all of the other attacks that Delvagin actually has while he is in heat. Now, another 2 moves that I really do like are his back 1+2. Once I saw this move, I was like, okay, this move is very, very good. It comes out at 20 frames. It's +3 on block and does 4 chip damage. On counter hit, it knocks you down for a guaranteed back 4. Okay? Or you can just be easier and just do down back 2 if you want, whatever. Let me see. Of course, if you do the back 4, you are +21 on your opponent's wake up. So you could essentially do stuff like this and fly toward them and mix them up if you wish. You can do that because you have enough time to do that. Also, you have Delvagin's down back 2. Down back 2 is a 21 frame low attack that's high crush. It does 15 damage and +3 on hit. On counter hit, same deal, you know, you get a guaranteed follow-up. And also, this move is also -13. Raven's equivalent to this move is this move here, down 4. Down 4 from Raven, decent range, -13, 21 frames, and on counter hit, it's +13. However, you don't really get nothing guaranteed from this. You just get more frames to just do maybe a potential. If you're lucky, if your opponent is mashing, you could go for a while standing 2, but you get nothing guaranteed. However, with Delvagin's down back 2, you do get something guaranteed. And plus wake up pressure options after that. Another move that I want to draw attention to is Raven's down 3, just to kind of illustrate this. Now, this is a very unassuming move, but I have found uses for it because Raven is 0 on this, on hit. However, on block, it's -11. On hit, it's 0, it does 10 damage and comes out at 15 frames. On counter hit, it goes from 10 to 12 damage. However, as you can see, Raven gets no additional advantage, even on counter hit. However, if we go on over to Delvagin's down 3 is -12. However, on counter hit, his move is +7 on hit, and the opponent recovers while standing. Now, on regular hit, it's the same. basically. This move is, oh, actually no, it's -1, and it does the same damage at 12 that Raven's down 3 does on counter. Need any further convincing? Like, anybody says that Raven is better than this, like, they need their head examined. I'm gonna program Raven to do this move because you need to see this in action. Raven's up forward 3 versus Delvagin's up forward 3. So Delvagin's up forward 3 comes out, I believe it comes out 1 frame faster, because Raven's comes out at 29 frames, Delvagin's comes out at 28. However, as you're seeing, Devil Jin's version places the opponent in a while standing situation, which means you're given essentially an extra frame of advantage. So even though it says +3 for Devil Jin, it's really, if you're going for 10 frame punishes, it really translates to +4. If you don't understand that, I can understand. So we'll just go with +3 just to make it easier for everybody. And on counter hit, that's when Devil Jin gets his his combo follow-up opportunity. Now the difference here, of course, is with Raven. Raven's comes out at 29. His is -9 on block. He gets no advantage. However, on normal hit, Raven gets a full combo. Now, if I'm being perfectly honest, both of these moves are pretty strong for both characters. However, if given the option, I would much rather have Devil Jin's option. Why? Because more often than not, your opponent is going to block this. They're not going to really get hit by this move, by a move that's 28 frames. Your opponent can get hit by it. Your opponent is going to block this more times than they're going to get hit. And the fact that this move is +3, it allows you to carry on your advantage. Whereas with Raven, at this point, your offense is done unless you warp out or whatever you're gonna do with Raven. So again, I will give the edge to Devil Jin's up forward 3 versus Raven's up forward 3. I can go on and on with this, but literally Raven, as I said, in this game, Raven needs a lot of work, the way things currently stand right now. Raven, utilizing the examples I just demonstrated, Raven is severely lacking. Severely lacking. I mean, I could have even shown Feng Wei, I could have shown Steve Fox, I could have shown Nina, but if I were to show every single example as to why Raven sucks in this game, by comparison, this video would be hours long. It would be hours long. And it's just not even worth my effort to do that. These small examples should perfectly encapsulate why Raven is, one, the worst character in this game, and also at the same time he's the most balanced, because if I highly doubt this would happen, but if the Tekken developers were to balance Tekken 8 for Season 3 to be more in line with where Raven is, this game would be vastly more balanced across the board. Now, whether or not that translates to Tekken 8 being quote-unquote fun, I don't know. Whether that will have more people play the game, I don't know. But I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that this game would be much more balanced across the board if all of the characters were balanced to be more in line with Raven. Because Raven, I'm gonna say it again, Raven is the most balanced character in this game, pound for pound. But because of that, when I compare him to the better characters and the elite level characters, Raven is dog shit by comparison. Again, Raven does not have a generic hop kick. He does not have a generic down forward 2. He only has one solid thing from his heat. It's just, to me, this is a very open and closed case. Now, I understand there might be some people that will argue and defend the character and say, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm already expecting those people. I will just say those people are either very much beginner level Tekken players, or they're so deluded that they don't want to acknowledge what the reality is, or it could be a little bit of both. I don't care what your rank is. I don't care if you are a god of destruction with Raven. I don't give two shits if you are the highest level ranked in Tekken 8 with Raven. I am looking at Raven, the character itself. I don't care what you do with Raven. It's irrelevant to me. Maybe you lucked out. Maybe you got favorable matchups. Maybe the people you fought against, they had an off day. I don't care. The fact is what I just shown on screen when looking at the moves pound for pound versus the other characters of similar moves, where one character's move would give you a full fucking counter hit launch, but Raven's just only knocks you down. And just go back to the example I showed with Leo, with Leo's down forward 2+3 versus Raven's back turned down 2. Basically the same move, but you get much more of a payoff using Leo's version on counter hit. And as I said, if I were to go through every single character and highlight every single move that Raven has and find the equivalent of that same move with another character, I can all but guarantee like 97% of the time that other character's version of that move will completely destroy Raven's. So my ultimate verdict is that Raven is essentially a Tekken 7.5 character in Tekken 8. If this version of Raven was in Tekken 7, I think this version of Raven would be very strong. I wouldn't say top 5 or nothing, but he would be very strong. But in this the way Tekken 8 is now currently, where you have so many characters like Nina, Anna, Bryan, that can get away with fucking virtual murder, with brain rot, button mash characters like Hwoarang that can literally lock you down. It's like he has like, it's almost like characters like Hwoarang, they have an unlimited V-ism. If you're familiar with Street Fighter Alpha, he's like a walking custom combo. Like he just yeah. Like it's brain rot. Law, another brain rot character. Like that's the reason why I don't even respect Law players, because how can you not win with a character like Law? Give me a break. So it is what it is. But I also want to say, just to reiterate this, if you are enjoying Tekken 8, I am happy for you. If you are enjoying that new Mary Sue character, that new dumb anime RPG like character, I'm happy for you. And I'm not bullshit. I'm not trolling. I'm always happy for people that are enjoying the game they're playing. In fact, hell, I actually ended up and I bought this, an actual real game. This game right here, one of the best Souls-like games you can find. You know, I enjoy actual good games. And as far as I'm concerned, Tekken 8 is a solid game. However, with its horrible gameplay mechanics relating to heat and rage, which I've talked about constantly on this channel, with the horrendous character balancing, or should I say lack thereof, this game, when it comes to round one fight, is absolute dog shit. But if you're enjoying it, if you're getting money off of it, whether you're a content creator and you're getting, like, you're on some main man SWE type level and you're getting good money, or you're a tournament player, get your bag. Get your bag. I am happy for you. However, I am not confident that the developers of this game are going to do anything meaningful for this game. I highly doubt it. I'm being honest. I'm being dead ass honest. Could they do something meaningful for this game? Perhaps, but I highly doubt it, just given the history of the patches that we have had so far. But it is what it is. So anyway, I don't know how many people are going to remain subscribed to me after this video, but I will just say this. I will continue to use Raven up until season 3, because we're not at season 3 yet. I will also continue to share some of my tips and tricks for my channel members, If you're not a channel member, what the fuck are you doing? Just join the channel, help a brother out. I'm a very tiny creator. I'm not Maximilian dude. I'm not making thousands of dollars doing this. So help a brother out. And also, if you're not currently subscribed, also subscribe if you're new. I'll continue passing on my tips that may help newer and intermediate players that are still hell-bent on using Raven. But the way I see Raven currently right now, he needs a lot of help. And a lot of these characters need to be nerfed because, like I said, they're getting away with virtual murder. And a character like Raven, the way he is, from what I can see, he just can't compete. And even when I look at a player by the name of Pena, who happens to be like the Raven Messiah when it comes to tournament play, very strong player. But a lot of times when I watch some of his matches, and I'm considering about doing a breakdown analysis of watching some of his matches, I see him losing to players where if he had a different, better character, he would have won a lot of those rounds or matches. But because he had Raven, he lost on the strength that it's Raven. I'm just being perfectly honest. It is what it is. So if you're enjoying Raven, no shade towards you, but look, Raven, he's just understand when you use Raven in this game, it's like playing Sekiro or Elden Ring. Whereas if you're playing like a character like Lydia, Reyna, Law, Anna, it's like you're playing a game on very easy. That's kind of like how I look at it. So when I see these people who have the God of Destruction rank or God of Destruction 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, whatever the fuck it is, and they're using Law or they're using Huarang, like, how can you not have a high rank using those busted ass characters? So my hat literally goes off to those Raven players that do have a very high rank, because I know they bust their fucking ass to get there. It was not easy compared to how these other characters are. So with that being said, that's it for the video. Hope all of you are well. Shout out to my subscribers and my channel members. There's a lot of news to talk about. I will still be doing the Suffering streams, at least up until season 3. And I will actually more than likely shift my focus to either Fahk, Bryan, Steve, Fengwei, or Nina, or all 5. If by some off chance miracle, and I do mean miracle, if the Namco devs get their act together and fix this fucking game, and actually give Raven something worthwhile, then I may consider. But as of right now, I don't really see that happening, and it looks like the end of the road for me when it comes to using Raven as a priority. So yeah, I think that's about it. So anyway, take care and salute.